Hey guys, today we're taking a look at the Advanced Sea Panther. This is the latest release in Takara Tomi's new line of motorized Zoids, and it's a new version of a model that only existed in the OJR and the Zoids graphics lines. We're going to unbox the kit, check it out in motion, and see how it compares to the original, of course. Let's get started.
Robo Shop.
Alright, so the box, if you're familiar with the OJR box art, then of course you're going to recognize this, but this is actually quite different from the OJR box art because they had to adjust it for the dimensions. And then there's a lot of really amusing details like this rock in the water here and the rocks on the side that actually look exactly the same. So they really recreated it as faithfully as they could, but had to sort of stretch it out in order to fill out the landscape dimensions of this box. On the back, we have the usual. There's a whole bunch of text. There is what seems to be a list of the gimmicks. You know, it walks, it has this opening missile launcher and cockpit. There's something going on here at the head that I'm going to have to check out. And there's this radar dish here. On the side, we have the usual, nothing terribly interesting really. So let's just get this opened up. So inside of the box, we have this tray that slides out, and we have a baggie with stickers and instructions. We have rubber caps, and then this is the motor. Let's get a quick look at that. Yeah. This is obviously a new casing that they've created specifically for the Sea Panther. This looks to be on the bottom of the Zoid, so maybe we don't have to completely take this one apart just to get the battery out, but I'll check that in the instructions. I have a bag here full of gears and assorted mechanical bits. We have the armor, which interestingly enough is actually in a very dark shade of gray and sort of warmish wolf gray, not at all reminiscent of the OJR color scheme actually. Next we have the clear parts, which from the look of it is the eyes and the canopy. And then more armor. This goes on the back, this goes on the sides. We have, as usual, quite a chunky looking pilot figure here. And the red parts are molded in metallic red, actually. There's really some weird color choices on this model. Obviously, like this is the legs. I mean, this is or actually no, this is all the parts for the arms for the pincers. Or is it legs? I'll find out when I put it together. And then we have the cannon, the cockpit, more pincer parts, feelers, you know, what you'd expect from a Sea Panther. Let's take a look at the instructions, or actually the stickers first. We have, as you can see here, yellow and red Zaniba stickers, which I think is actually what the original came with. But then it also has a Gylos emblem here and a whole bunch of other stuff, of course. And here, this is like kill marks here. Same as with the Mulga, it actually seems to come with stickers so that you can build it both as sort of an updated NJR-ish version, not that there ever was an NJR Sea Panther, and with the classic Zaniba stickers. Very cool. Now, the instructions, I really just want to see this because I want to see where the battery goes, obviously. We have a parts list here, and then it tells us right at the start to put this weird obscure battery in there, an LR1, some weird photo camera battery standard that, you know, nobody's ever heard of. And then we put together the pincers, we put on the head and the cockpit, and it looks like, Yeah, there's a pretty good chance the battery, because the battery compartment is actually on the bottom, and it looks like the armor here is actually open towards the bottom, so maybe we can actually take the battery out without taking the whole damn thing apart. Yeah, and then apparently it comes with a whole bunch of spare parts that we can put on the head here, because it's an AZ, so it's got to have an extra gimmick. And that's really all I have to show you guys here. I am now going to put this together because I want to see what all of this does. So let's do gimmicks first. We have this beer can launcher here, of course, and it's a bit difficult to get the hatch open, so I had to take it off the model. It plugs on here, and as you'll see later, it rotates. Alternatively, we can get this radar dish on here. Another new gimmick is the barrel on the cannon, which extends like so. And then on the head we've got these new feelers and mandibles that we can attach. The box treats this as a new gimmick because the old Sea Panther didn't have these, but with those giant peg holes it doesn't really strike me as optional. What's really cool is how you turn on the motor. You open this hatch on the back, which reveals another beer can launcher, and that's actually the switch to turn it on. And if you switch it the other way, it goes in reverse. On the sides, the wind-up knob has been replaced by these rotating vents. And finally, the cannon moves up and down with this simple mechanism that pushes against it. And here it is in motion. Sorry about the weird shadows on the legs and pincers, I have no idea what the camera's problem here was. As you can see, it sort of wiggles as it moves because it has these two elliptical wheels on the bottom, and well, I've already shown you the other stuff that moves. To be honest, I think it all looks a bit busy and hectic, especially the rotating missile launcher. And here it is going in reverse. And to give you an idea of how it compares, here's the original in motion. It walks basically the same, although it doesn't have the same wiggling motion, it just moves up and down. And here's a still comparison of the two. I forgot that the original actually also didn't follow the classic OJR collar pattern. The slightly darker red on the AZ actually looks closer to that, if anything. The original here is the Zoids graphics version, by the way. I don't actually have an OJR, but I think the two are more or less identical. Well, and that's about all I've got to show you guys. Overall, I think they did a really good job here. It certainly is packed with new features that set it apart from the original, and it doesn't stray too much from that one's proportions or overall appearance. My only real criticism is what I already said about the walking movement. It doesn't really seem like an improvement compared to the original, it just doesn't have a wind-up motor anymore. I certainly appreciate the fact that this one's battery hatch isn't buried under the armor like with the AZ Mulga though, and overall I just think it's really cool that they've added the Sea Panther of all things to the AZ line. If you were a collector in the 2000s, you'll remember this thing was damn near impossible to find, so to us old farts, this isn't as out of left field as it might seem. And as I already said with the Mulga, I just love the fact that they're doing these smaller AZs and acknowledging that these designs are as much part of Zoid's history as the Deaths are around the Gogulas. Well, and that's it for this one, folks. Up next I've got the RMZ Saber Tiger, and then we'll see what happens. There's a whole bunch of stuff coming out this year, not least of which is the HMM Salamander, and if you've been paying attention, you know they just announced a ton of pretty crazy new RMZs. If you're into Zoids and you like this video, first of all, let the algorithm know by clicking the like button down there, and if you want to see more like this, subscribe to my channel because I've always got more Zoids content coming. In the meantime, thanks for watching and I'll see you in the next one.